Welcome. How are you today? VanzDrumming.com here, and in the drum vault. And today we're going to talk a little bit about RUFFs. So I have my most obnoxious shirt you could find on, and it actually has like 8 million different drum companies on it. So if you can name every company on my shirt, you win a big old prize. It's kind of like the butt ugly Hawaiian shirt, but for drummers. Anyway, so since today we're going to talk about RUFFs, I brought my dog in here. Flapjack, come here, come here, come here. This is Flapjack, and come here, hey, look. Hey, what's up, buddy? What you doing? So we a couple weeks back or a month back, I did a lesson and talked a little bit about drags, and a drag basically is two 30-second notes with one hand and then a single stroke with the other. So a quick little recap would be 2 hits, and then like grace notes. I know we're getting to rough. I know. And then we're going to do a RUFF is actually, and it's funny because the Percussive Art Society named the drag in parentheses a RUFF, but they have a 3-stroke RUFF. Nice tail, huh? You like that tail? A 3-stroke RUFF, and then they call it a 4-stroke RUFF. And if you own this book, which is Alfred's Drum Method Book 1, which is about the best snare drummer's book for beginners. Wagging tail, look at that. It's reflecting on my bass drum. Alfred's Drum Book Method 1 is a great drum book. Anyway, so that talks about RUFFs in there. So we talk about drags, 3-stroke RUFF, or a drag, which is 2 single hits with one hand, and then a solid hit with the other. But a RUFF is kind of like a single stroke 4. You're doing single strokes. So unlike the drag, going, you know, really light, nice little light hits. What you doing? You're waiting for me to pet again? Nice little hits. We're doing single strokes, so we're doing 3 little hits, 3 hits. Yes, yes. You want to say rough? Go ahead. Look at the camera right here. Right here, right here. No? Okay. So, this is starring my dog. Oh, and Mr. Bone Skeleton, guest drummer. Since we're in the holiday season here. It's Halloween time, you see. So a single stroke 4 is just like a 4-stroke RUFF. So we're going to do 4 notes total, 3 grace notes, single stroke, and then 1 solid hit. So we're going. Start playing soft. But your last hit is heavier. And then you can alternate. So again, the RUFF is, I'm sorry, the drag is just a double. But the 4-stroke RUFF goes to single strokes, okay? Now, there's a lot of websites and a lot of arguments online like, there's no such thing as a RUFF, and it's the same as a drag, and blah, 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 blah. Again, there's a 3-stroke RUFF and a 4-stroke RUFF. 4-stroke RUFF is what we're talking about here. Individual hits. A lot harder to do, because a drag, being it's like a little drop down, it's like, it's pretty easy just to just kind of flop your stick down. Nice 2 little hits. But doing the actual drag is, you need a lot more control. Single stroke. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-ba-bum. So, with that being said, there are also, if you're into the crazy different styles of drumming, there's a French drag and a French RUFF, I do believe, and the French RUFF actually does a double stroke, but they do a single stroke first. They go, like for instance, you would go left, right, right, left. So you have a solid left hit, 2 right hits, and then a solid left hit heavy, like, not solid left hit, single singular left hit. Again, grace notes for the first 3. And then you would alternate that as well. So you would go right, left, left, right. And that's a French ruff. So we have the All-American ruff, and then we have the French ruff. But that's the difference. Not a big deal, but I know that there's a lot of confusion out there, and I had people asking me, talk about the ruff, because I mentioned it in that drag lesson. So, yeah, this shirt is butt ugly, so I'm just going to throw it out after this. But I tell you what, there's like all kinds of stuff on here. I believe there's companies on here that aren't even around anymore. You know, I see Mapex and DW, obviously, and Broadway, and, oh, geez, Rogers is on here, Noble and Cooley. Oh, my gosh. All kinds of stuff. Anyway, I felt like wearing it. Why not? I'm crazy. It's cool. We have Skeleton Guy. We got the dog. We're roughing it. We're roughing it. You get it? Yeah, we're roughing it here at Vanz Drumming, VanzDrumming.com. Since I mentioned that, don't forget to go by VanzDrumming.com and check out our DVDs. Still always amazing sale. Our old one, Extreme Drum Set Techniques, I tell you what, even though it's older, I've had more rave reviews overseas and everywhere about that thing. Crazy amount of stuff in there. It's jam-packed with crazy amount of stuff. And then, of course, Office Rocker is like over 40 individual one-measure lessons, drum fills. And then I actually email you a PDF written out by drumscore.com, of course, Dan at drumstore.com. And there you go. So he's going to tear it up for you for a minute and have a great evening. Again, Randy Van Patten here. It's rough time. VanzDrumming.com. Later!